If you're watching this, you're probably in one of two camps. You're either confused about LDL cholesterol or you believe it simply doesn't matter for heart disease. I have one simple question for you. What if you're wrong? Now, I don't say that lightly or am I trying to scare you, but it's a question I've had to ask myself. Because before medical school, I was in that camp. I ate low carb and I trusted people online that I learned from and still respect to this day. I truly believe that LDL and saturated fat didn't matter. But then my perspective changed. During medical school, I learned how to read scientific literature, then throughout residency, fellowship, and now as a practicing doctor, I've spent countless hours thinking about this exact topic. And I've come to realize the popular debate is asking the wrong question. People on one side say inflammation and insulin resistance are the real drivers of heart disease, not LDL. And people on the other side say as long as your LDL is low enough, you won't have any issue in life. But in reality, I think they're both missing the point. In heart disease, which is rampant in our society, it isn't caused by one thing. In my mind, it's a fire that requires three things to start it. 1, disruption to your blood vessels or endothelial dysfunction. 2, inflammation. And 3, ApoB-containing particles like LDL. The mistake is thinking you can completely ignore one piece of the puzzle just because you're doing a great job managing the others. I think of it like managing a wildfire risk. Your LDL particles are a big pile of dry tinder, or the fuel. And things like high blood pressure, inflammation, environmental toxins, insulin resistance, and even stress are the sparks from a nearby campfire. Now, you absolutely want to stomp out all those sparks. That's critical. But here's the part we can't forget. The bigger and drier the pile that tinder gets, the less of a spark it needs to ignite. A tiny ember could set it off. And sometimes a fire can start without any campfire at all. A lightning strike from a storm you never saw coming can ignite the whole thing. The point is, having a massive pile of fuel is a definitive risk factor in and of itself, regardless of the sparks. You can't always control the lightning, but you can control the amount of tinder you leave lying around. To ignore the fuel is to bet that you're going to have perfect weather forever, and that's just not going to happen. Now, I know that's a bit simplified, but in my opinion, we don't want to leave one risk factor completely ignored, especially when we can't control everything that happens in our life. And now I know the argument, but Jordan, I've reversed my insulin resistance, I've lost weight, my blood pressure is perfect, I've never felt healthier. And I want to be clear, that is incredible. I'm not here to diminish that in any way. You are in an objectively better, healthier place than you were before, and you should be proud of that. But it would be foolish to let that success blind you from a different, independent risk factor. This doesn't have to be an either-or situation. It can be a both and. My question is this: why are we combining the best of both worlds? Why not pair powerful lifestyle changes with the incredible scientific and medical advances we've made to lower all the risk factors for heart disease? Ultimately, your health is your decision. It's personal. If you decide that I'm wrong and you think that I'm an idiot, I respect that. And I genuinely want you to have a long, healthy, successful life. My only goal is to make sure you're making choices with all the information on the table outside of the potential social media echo chamber. I'm just some dude on the internet, but I care about you and I want you to be fully informed. And for those of you who want a longer, more in-depth breakdown on the science here, I did a full podcast on this topic. You can listen to it by clicking right here.